Hello everyone and welcome to the third week of the EGFC Power 5 Invitationals. We'll be playing out 4 weeks of pre-eliminations where the Power 5 compete against each other to earn their seeding in the EGFC Power 5 Invitational, a live event on January 18th and 19th at the OS Studio in New York City, leading up to the start of EGFC Season 1. These games will be played in a best-of-5 format over the course of 4 non-consecutive weeks, so if you don't want to miss any of the action, make sure to follow us on Twitch and Twitter at @OfficialEGF.
Yes, sir. Spelled just like it is. No spaces, no underscores, nothing like that. Today we are starting off with a match between Georgetown University and Florida State University. Second up, we'll be seeing Ole Miss taking on LSU. Finally closing out the show, we got Washington State University taking on the University of Illinois.
Yeah, and today I, of course, am at Cavan Navik Dignan, and I'm joined by Jordan FBI Tugboat Fitzpatrick. How are you doing today, Tug?
I'm doing well. The year started off slow, but I got a lot of stuff done today. Got like some stuff in my car and stuff like that taken care of. So
yeah,
it's been productive.
Yeah, that's always good. I have been 3D printing things like a monster.
Yeah, you sent me something interesting earlier. We can talk about that now. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah, well, the teams are still setting up, so yeah, no, I have been 3D printing a like 1 in 4,000 scale Millennium Falcon.
Yes, I was quite surprised when I got these in the DMs, but very interested as well. Seems pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm very surprised on how much a 3D printer can actually like build structure without needing supports. You
and me both. Of all the things I would have expected Navik to send me before casting a Rocket League game with him, that was
not a Millennium Falcon.
Pretty far towards the bottom. Was not pleasantly surprised. We'll call it.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. You know, it's Star Wars season and all that. So we are seeing the Georgetown players join up now. So we should be getting the game started any second now. And I'm looking forward to this.
Let's talk a little bit about these leaderboards, right? These top 6 teams.
Yeah, I mean, so of course this is non-eliminations. This is pre. And they're just figuring out their seedings for the LAN event, which I believe is next weekend. So the 18th and 19th.
Yes, not this upcoming weekend, but weekend after.
Yes, and at the moment, the first game is going to, of course, be Florida State University, our first seed, playing against Georgetown Hoyas Esports' 5th seed. So this could be something great. We could see an even playing field. If they manage to get the win, then they'll jump up a little bit. They'll bring Florida State down. And then going throughout it as well, Tug, we do, of course, see LSU playing against Ole Miss and Illinois playing against Washington State. What do you make of these games?
Yeah, just calling it like I see it, right? The difference, 1 and 6, 5 and 2nd, kind of interesting seeding. Obviously, the idea, that is that the top seeded team wants to take, they've earned that spot, so they want to come in here and have the best matchup. Something I really have to notice here, though, is all of these games so far have been 3-0s. You're looking at your win-loss differentials here. This is Florida State University and LSU, who have both won both of their games 3-0 to put them at a positive 6-0 win-loss differential. Now we're looking at the University of Illinois, looking here at Washington State University at 1-1. They 3-0'd. They got 3-0'd. Dead even win-loss differential there at 0.
Yeah. So that's kind of bouncing about there. And I do believe we have the rest of the players in. So we are going to get this match underway. I'm looking forward to it. I always love to see a bit of Rocket League, and the teams are officially joining the game, ladies and gentlemen. So we have the first game of the day underway. We have Georgetown in the blue playing against Florida State. Hit us off with it, Tug.
Absolutely. A Georgetown team here is going to be looking to take their first game here in Power 5 series. This is Bruno here for FSU, just dinking one in really early, Navik, honestly. That was very impressive ball control there, keeping it up in the air. Nice little aerial action, shows off a little bit. That was not completely, undefended, but...
Yeah, I mean, and that's a fairly quick goal. 8 seconds. It's going to be the fastest goal. Of course, it's the first goal we've seen in this set, but it may very well be the fastest goal we see for the rest of the night. Bruno, again, taking the touch on the wall, getting another tap on it. Is that going to go in? Saved by Ewall. Followed
up. Puts it up. And another really impressive block there.
Yeah, there's been some good momentum shifts coming out now. Georgetown in possession. They've had a good few weeks, right, over the season. Of course, it's been Christmas and things, so they've got plenty of time to have practiced and kind of designated and figured stuff out a bit more. So I'm looking forward to seeing where all of these teams come from. Bruno getting it over Ewall. Icarus passing it over to the side there. Interesting play. Bruno going for a shot onto goal, looking for the double tap, doesn't find it. Followed up by Icarus. That's gonna find
Nicely
it.
done. You know, up close and personal there. I believe that was Kuko back there in goal, but just was not able. Of course, once this ball breaks the plane completely, the entirety of the ball going up in there, yeah, that was Kuko. That's going to be another score. So that's 2 now for this FSU team. Up, you know, straight 2-0 in the series. Now 2-0 here in the first 45 seconds.
Yeah, and now the kickoff comes out. Ghost looking to get a tap.
Ooh.
Oh, hits that top right corner. This is a chance for Georgetown to find it. Bruno stealing it away, getting that contest. The challenge benefits him. Good tap here. Icarus not in the right orientation to find the connection here. Zion's just going to run it down. Managed to bring it 1-2.
Yeah, just like a bowling ball, just rolling that one right in. That was just an FSU team that was not anticipating this whatsoever. Zion with a very nice takeaway there, leading to the goal.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. And now that's going to even it out or tie it up to a 1 differential. I just corrected myself into a synonym for the same incorrect statement. I don't know what I just did there, but we are seeing good momentum coming out for Florida State as Zion gets the save.
Yeah, so these, you know, you mentioned a break. I'm not sure if anybody told these guys because they're playing just as well as they were before this Christmas break. Now looking at about only 90 seconds or so. Is this a long ball going FSU's way? Bruno, again, being all over this ball, not going to let that go. And this is an FSU team, once again, that has just really, really perfected the rotations. Every single time this ball gets away from all players, FSU is just simply there faster.
Yeah, I mean, and now Ewell getting a good tap, and I think that's a good, like, view of it, right? FSU is playing really well. They are getting those good rotations, but this could be a really good long pass to Kuko. Gets it over to Ewell. Ewell tapping it, going back to Kuko. Does get challenged. Ghost is in control as he now tries to get it back to his teammate. Plays it patiently. Zion, though, dribbles it past one, tries to pass it to Ewell. Ewell was there, but the ball got intercepted.
Now rounding around after the explosion there, it was very interesting. We reached the bottom of 3 minutes on that one. After seeing, what, 3 goals in the first 45 seconds or so. Now, aside from that explosion, there has not been anything here. Really excitement-wise, definitely no scores. There's a second one. This is an FSU team trying to set up.
Yep, Bruno here looking to drop it down onto Icarus. Ewell with the good save. Ghost following it up. Hits the crossbar. Potential follow-up. Zion, though, looks to dribble it. Bruno intercepts it. Good challenge there. Stops the momentum from Georgetown.
It was a fantastic mid-air interrupt there by this FSU player, but even better to have Icarus back, ready to stop, in case that ball did get away from now. It didn't fully, but was there no matter what. Again, FSU with these big rotations. Only 1 point differential now is that's Ghost getting a nice tap over and just back and forth. Everybody trying to hit this ball long ways seems as not ever able to complete, like it's a full natural progression, you know?
Yeah, well, FSU obviously having that goal lead here. They're keeping the pressure on. They're looking for these extra goals. Bruno's going to try and get the follow-up there. Oh, lets it drop. The fake out with Icarus following it up is going to be able to find the 3rd goal.
You all had, I think that was 2 really nice, impressive blocks right there. Trying to get back to another one. That was Zion just barely missing that. FSU, when the pressure is on, they're able to take advantage of it and make scores out of it. Change the, at one at a time. Almost a nice, super fast shot there. FSU not looking to let this pressure up quite yet. But then, as I say that, the ball kind of getting away from everybody. Bruno's there, half court or so. Get this up. And between 2 different defenders. Wow, that's a Georgetown team here. Is not characteristic of them to let this go past not 1, but 2, nobody touching.
Yeah, FSU now starting to run away with the game just a little bit, right? And this is the momentum that they want. They've warmed up. Georgetown were looking like they were in a good spot. But now, like I said, FSU with that 3-goal differential is going to be dominating this game, right? They can play aggressive. They can afford to make a couple mistakes and still keep that lead. 1 minute, 20 seconds is not a lot on the clock.
I mean, Navik, we already saw, what, 3 scores in 45 seconds? It can definitely happen here, but this is a Georgetown team, just based on time, this is getting farther and farther away from the realm of possibility for these guys. They have to get it done. They have to get it done now.
Yeah, they definitely need to. As this might be goal number 5
not
coming
the
up from
answer.
FSU.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did not need. Now, time is still there, it's still perfectly possible, but this is a Georgetown team that would have to be playing completely different. I mean, you can just tell the past few minutes, both of these teams have warmed up a little bit. They were playing very well to begin with, but just the sharper edge is now there.
Yeah, and this is what I mean, right? You get back into that environment. I imagine all of these players have been solo queuing, maybe getting a little bit of scrimming as a team together in. But once you start to get in that competitive environment where those wins and losses actually do matter, it's definitely a different atmosphere from playing in any other queue.
A very good point. So I want to point out there was a Hoya Georgetown player down there, perfected the art of just getting out of the way. He knew his teammate had a shot on the FSU goal about 10 seconds or so ago. Maybe watching replays or something. Now this ball is spending a whole lot of time up in the air. Everybody just tapping this one along. Now this is the Georgetown team that was making progress until that explosion and takeaway. Up and down. Nice block by Kuko.
Good set up here. Bruno playing it patiently. Baits out Ewell. Commits for it. Does get saved though. And this is what I mean, right? Bruno especially has been playing mind games. He's been playing it slow and then increasing the pace. He's been completely controlled of the momentum of the goals he's been taking. And Ghost is going to put another one in. 6 goals, 5 goals up for FSU. 7 seconds left on the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 is going to be going to Florida State University.
Yeah, and again, this is just for seeding and stuff, but almost as if Florida State University wants to make a little bit of a point here. 5 points up now. I can't imagine this ball is going to do much of anything but just hang out in the neutral zone for a little bit. The end goal, the end result of this game will not be changed at this point.
No,
game moving on here after a 6-1. Honestly, just a very definitive win for FSU.
Yeah, and this is what Florida State now needs to be coming back, right? Needs to start swinging back. That's going to be game 1, like we said, going to Florida State, and I think that's important, right? Because this is Florida State's first game back. They're top of the seed. They need to be keeping that pressure on, right? They need to be proving to everybody that they should be the top dogs.
Yeah,
and
number 1 seed, they got to prove that, right?
Yeah.
Something that really sticks out to me here, Navik, is look. I mean, just what you're looking 7, 5, 9 shots by Ghost. That just really explains the story of why this Florida State team was able to run the score up so much. Looking over at Georgetown, only 4 total, making 1 in. You simply have to attempt the shots to be able to make them. This is not a level of Rocket League, where ball's just going to randomly roll in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And being able to keep that pressure and manage to get that goal differential, like overall, they had so much ball control that they just managed to keep the whole pace to their own. Oh, as we do have a slight technical issue, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back in just a moment. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I apologize about that very short break. We had some slight connection issues, but we are jumping in to game number 2 of this best of 5 right now.
Yes, sir. FSU over here in the red on the right, Georgetown the blue on the left. FSU just put a very, very definitive and dominant performance here in game 1, 6-1 stat line for that. Now, this FSU team has shown very, very impressive and really a better rotation so far, and they've yielded value from it all day long. We'll see if they can replicate this here in game 2.
Yeah, no, they have been getting value after value. If I want to highlight anything out of Florida State, currently it's their boost control, right? They've been playing it carefully. They've been playing it safe. They've been keeping map control. They've been denying boost, but most importantly, they've not been using it when they didn't need to, as they're going to find it. Goal number 1. 38 seconds into the second game. So FSU pulling a lead already, Tug.
This was Bruno scoring first in the last round when they ended that one 6-1. I think that was the first 8 seconds or so. And again, and Bruno also knocking that one right down the middle, just showing that he's got very, very good aim and very good control of this ball when shooting.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing, right? FSU is playing it very, very well. That Georgetown has been put into a position where they need to try and find a breakout, right? They need to find somewhere to get control, and that might have been the opportunity. The follow-up from Kuko is going to find it, evening it out. Not even a minute into the round, Tug.
This was perfect. Zion using the wall just absolutely perfect there. Did hit corner bar there, but players like Kuko all over that one, FSU team taken off guard. So something I do have to say, against FSU, when they have control, when the things are going their way, then they show control and they're running this game. When things get a little bit out of hand or there's something they don't expect, they do not respond well.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, right, George? We've said it time and time again. We've seen Georgetown play a lot over 2 invitationals. We've seen them play at LAN, and they are very much so a momentum-based team. If the momentum's not going in their favor, they do seem to crumble under the pressure as FSU puts another one in.
That was a defender just barely missing the tip of his car. The first one there, Kuko just not anticipating his teammate missing that. Just getting a little up and over, a little lob action. That's going to yield FSU's second goal here in Game 2 of this best of 5.
Yeah, and I liked that. That was a good that was a good commitment by Kuko and his teammate, right? They both committed for it, didn't quite get there in time. But I like what we see out of Georgetown when we see them every single time. They always just seem to be just slightly outperformed in one area.
Defensive plays like Zion's there will make sure that Georgetown not get scored on quite yet, and this scoreline staying a lot more reasonable than it was last. Now Georgetown is showing some pretty good offense here. Not too aggressive are the two back players. Now going up mid. Zion all over this one. Keeping it lower though is FSU. They found value with it already.
Oh, Bruno here playing it patiently. Tries to mind game Kuko, but Kuko says, not today, my good friend. I am going to commit to that. Ghost getting a good tap. Going to rebound it off the side. There is going to be a follow-up look by Icarus. Icarus connects. Is Bruno going to put it in? He's going to be slightly too high.
The story of FSU so far, maybe part of the reason why they had, what, 5, 7, and 9 goals shots on goal, last time is because they have been hitting a lot of these shots just barely over. Not even a ball's diameter width above the top of this goal. Crossbar and corner bars have been their worst enemy in this matchup so far.
Yeah, and again, now they're trying to find a breakout there. Good shot there just to get it away by Zion. Ewell looking to contest, needs to get it past Icarus. Icarus chipping it back to Ghost. Ghost isn't going to find it though, but the bump from Zion. And this needs to be the aggressive play that we need to see out of Georgetown at the moment, right? They're losing boost. The map is being controlled by FSU, right? They're not being able to breathe, and they need to get some aggressive bumps in. They need to send one of their players off, get some bumps, gain some map control, and then commit to a breakout push.
Yeah, talk about shots and map control here. What we just saw for the past 30 seconds or so is Icarus and Bruno just kind of taking turns with all kinds of aerial shots on there, and Georgetown players with really impressive defense. Now down bottom, Zion takes that all the way across, and I believe that was Ghost who tried to hit that defensively, but ended up kind of hitting it down and almost setting up. No, Bruno there just hitting the very end of his car against that bottom, just setting that up perfectly. Zion, right place, right time, right?
And that's exactly what I mean, right? You saw them gain some control. They saw a breakout opportunity, and they scored off of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking advantage of that will yield you value in any matchup, any of these games, the Power 5 here in the EGFC.
Yeah, and now Zion getting a good tap. Icarus stealing it away, carrying the momentum for his team. Kuko getting it high enough that nobody can find an opportunity on to their goal, but it's going to be right in front at the moment. Kuko, right place, right time, manages to find the save.
Yeah, I mean, it's not luck when it happens so consistently, right? We've seen these Georgetown players be in the right place, right time several times now, playing a lot differently than they did in the first game of this best of 5, really. When Bruno and Icarus have the ball, they can make these really impressive shots on, but Georgetown is working very well together, but that bouncing away from him. It looked like Bruno actually got hit against an opponent in the air.
I do believe that Zion, unfortunately, just hit the ball in. Yeah, that was very unfortunate. Good read by Bruno. I'm gonna say that one was pretty lucky, but if that was intentional, that man's got a galaxy brain.
Yeah, that's 900 IQ if it was intentional. Now a little bit of breakaway, nicely done. Zion's still there. We were talking about rotations earlier. That was FSU absolutely taking advantage of what would have been otherwise a really great setup here for Georgetown. Just really collapsing in once they realized the pressure was on, and one defender off to the side, I believe another defender off to our right camera, trying to get boosts.
Yeah, and I mean, there you go. There's FSU, all right? They had a bit of a lapse, maybe lacking communication, or maybe just, you know, getting a bit too overexcited with their lead. But they very quickly corrected it, and now they are pulling ahead once more.
Rounding round here, Bruno looking to set up something else impressive. You all getting aggressive out there as ball's now kind of getting away. There you go, Icarus all over this one. Nice tap, but that's going to hit it up. And there we go, the follow-up by Icarus. So I guess the theme between these two games, because this second one really has been different until we talk about this here in-game, right? The scoreline now ending up a little bit similar to what it was before. It was 6-1 first game with 32 seconds left, now 5-2 FSU up.
Yeah, and I mean, it's closer though, right? There's a goal difference in each direction. Yep. Both positive and negative, so that's good for Georgetown coming into game number 3. I think it's extremely unlikely that they managed to find 3 goals in 20 seconds, but stranger things have happened before, and if there's some serious breakdown in communication from FSU, there is a possibility of it.
with that event over, the Stranger Things thing isn't really like a full pun anymore. I'm kind of sad about that one.
I never committed it as a pun. It's just that
I used to love that really easy low-hanging fruit joke, but with this one here, like you said, a little bit of it, the scoreline definitely different. 5-2, much better in every way, shape, and form than a 6-1. Georgetown really waking up on that one. The coordination yielded them much more progress than they had in the previous game.
Yeah, and if we take a second here to go over the stat line, right? Bruno with 4 shots, 3 goals, so he got his hat trick. 3 shots coming out from Icarus with 2 goals. The assists on every single player, Tug.
Wow, yeah. And doubling them up for Icarus and Ghost. Well done. Like, something else I have to say is the same number here for Georgetown on shots, but literally, you know, if you're posting it as a positive stat, literally getting twice as many goals, 100% efficiency on that. 2 by Zion. No, here, excuse me. No, yeah, 1 by Zion, 1 by Kuko. Both of them yielding half of the score coming up. Sorry, I'm not sure where I was going with that.
It's absolutely fine. Ladies and gentlemen, we see FSU with a 2-score victory at the moment. So if they can find this next one, this is match point. I don't know why I said victory. Lead is the correct word there, Tug. We are both slipping up. But
yeah, it's just been a long day. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff done. But we got this last possible last game here in the best of 5. Of course, we could see a 3-0. That's all we've seen so far in the Power 5. We'll see if that continues to hold true.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely the right spot that FSU want to be in, right? Being that first seed, they want to be just 3-0ing each of their opponents, especially with the LAN next week. Completely different environment. It's definitely an interesting change to see.
Yeah, a different beast by every measure. So now this is a Georgetown team striking first here in Game 3 for the first time. That was FSU coming through, scoring the first, I think, 8 seconds and then 40 seconds or so, but striking back, Georgetown 17 seconds in, they're up 1-0, Navik.
Yeah, and we've said it time and time again, Georgetown is such a momentum-based team that finding a really, really early goal here could be exactly what they need to carry this on. But FSU striking back as quickly as they were struck, managing to equalize it within 12 seconds.
Yeah, Ghost there. That was a fantastic setup by Icarus, shooting this ball around really low and fast towards the bottom, the drop part of this goal, setting it up. That was just clean pass, clean shot all the way through. No complaints about that one.
And this is it, right? These passes, these backboard shots have been working really, really well, right? Off the backboard, in it goes. But this is another opportunity opening up for Georgetown as it seems to it seems to fall out of their grasp as now FSU has the momentum.
I'm trying to just see more common themes throughout these games, but even so far, just 50 seconds in, this one just simply being different from our previous 2. Those 2 being very different from each other as well. Not just in possession, but also in score. But keeping it going here as we hit 1 minute.
Yeah, see, FSU, they're letting Zion get that boost is interesting because they've been so on top of this control. Ghost, they're getting the read, though he is just going to be able to put that in. Nobody in defense. Ewell looking a little bit confused there.
Yeah, not characteristic of Ewell. We saw really, really good defensive stops by him in Game 1 and 1 or 2 in Game 2. But this is, I mean, that was just what Ghost proving that he can do it just like Icarus and Bruno. Bruno was really the fanciness we saw in Game 1. Ghost now coming through in Chauvinworth.
FSU is a scary team to play against.
It's fair.
And I think that goes to show, right, like Georgetown overall, they've put up a fight. Like, they've kept this pretty equal at the moment.
Yeah, I say it all the time. I'll take this opportunity to say it again. Advantage of 1 is no advantage indeed in Rocket League.
Yeah.
Shots coming up. FSU looking to set that up. Bruno, he frequently does that move where he just kind of launches the entirety of this that bigger car model that he's been using. He's at the ball and just trying to knock it in really, really quickly so that Georgetown players can't get in front of it. It's worked before, but I kind of think Georgetown has kind of gotten wise to that one.
The Ghost here with a good aerial dribble. Getting that pinch is quite an interesting situation. Zion winning the challenge.
Bruno showing he can do it on offense and defense. Coming up in corner, Ghost all over that one, but this is still good positioning for players like Ewell. Ooh, very nice corner stop there for Ghost.
Yeah, Ghost getting a good save there. Ewell, though, I just want to highlight, really good read of the situation. Almost managed to put it in.
And that's Ewell doing the same thing on the other side. Showing he can do an offense and defense, almost tagging that with front right tire. That would have been a perfect corner on this one. Now low ball, nobody really committing to this one quite yet.
pinch landing in FSU's favor. Icarus has the ball, goes to the drop shot, manages to find it. 3 goals for FSU.
Icarus doing his flying there. You watch this happen. He uses the edge of Zion to knock that in. Zion just trying to get his car body in between Icarus and the goal. Doesn't quite get there and actually ends up being instrumental to that 3rd goal for FSU about halfway into this time.
Bruno getting a touch, right, looking to commit, good dribble, oh, Kuko stealing it away on the line. We love to see it happen.
Yeah, something I really want to point out there, I love how Kuko just stayed down bottom. He realized where this ball was going and did not initiate his aerial movements. That's not, usually when you see this coming in this higher level Rocket League, excuse me, it's almost always going to be something aerial, but staying down bottom is fantastic presence of mind.
Yeah, I mean, that just goes to show a great deal of patience, right? And kind of a good read of the situation paid out for him. Didn't want to overcommit, kept his boost. And now we have 2 minutes left onto the clock. Only a 2-goal differential, though. It's much closer than game 1 and 2.
Exactly. Especially, I mean, this is about the same time in games 1 and 2 that this started to run away from Georgetown, though. So only being down 2 is not that big a deal. And again, they're faring much, much better than they did previously. Pressure is on, though. And I was going to say it might take a lot to get that out, but B-Wall just kind of walks it on down. Nice,
yeah, I like
leisurely Sunday drive.
Icarus went for the offensive bump there, trying to get one of the players from Georgetown out of the goal. But then they lost momentum, right? So he had to defensively rotate and managed to get a whole way around the arena to save.
Oh, Ghost looking to make these numbers just a little less even. Ghost hitting this one up the top again. Again, this... the corner bars, crossbars being the mortal enemy of this FSU team in this matchup so far.
Yeah, I mean, and at the moment, these challenges have been so well thought out from FSU, right? And here's a good opportunity coming out for Ghost. Goes to Bruno. Bruno's in.
Nicely done. FSU now making this one look a little bit more like game 1.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just one of those things, right? It just goes to show the coordination coming out from FSU. It's these micro decisions that just work out for them, but they work out for them because they're not accidental, they're not incidentals, right? They're aiming for these things to happen. Zion looking for that kickoff goal there is saved by Ghost, but a really nice setup. Bruno getting a good read. Ghost is going to be able to attach it, set it back up for Bruno. Bruno getting a lovely tap there. Ewell knocking it up. They need to clear it away, or FSU is going to find goal number 5 in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, something I want to say positively about Georgetown. They've been getting really, really good defensive holds, but Ewell in particular, it seems like when he gets these defensive stops, that his rebounds just aren't knocking the ball very far away, so it's frequent that FSU is able to come back and make a second play on this ball to get the rebound and come back and make a goal out of it. Just a little bit more power when he is getting these defensive hits out just might result in a little bit of less scoreline now.
Yeah, and now we see the last 5 seconds. Georgetown have managed to deny it for as long as they can, not giving them that 5th goal, decreasing the goal differential each game by 1, and really making FSU work for it. Although we see the scoreline is 3-0 overall, I'd say those were quite close until FSU managed to run away with them.
Yeah, we seriously saw the first 3 minutes of each one of these. Even if it was Florida State scoring early, it really wasn't something that was unmanageable by any means, but they just were able to keep up with the pressure and continue to score, and that just obviously led to a lot of these multi-point leads and kind of breakaways. The closest of these games being game 2, actually. Game 3 was, again, where Georgetown scored first. You know, they lost this one 1-4, but they started out 1-0 and up with a lead. Let FSU then go on a 4-score lead, obviously them learning a little bit about their opponent and able to take advantage of that in games 1 and 2.
Yeah, and it really worked out for them. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be cutting to a short break as we prepare for game number 2, which will be LSU playing against Ole Miss. I hope everybody who has come in here to support their schools continues the hype and watches the rest of Rocket League we have for tonight. We'll be back with you momentarily.